Howdy, people.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hey.
Um, this is Dolph.
And again, that's Dolph. No, I'm James.
It is 8:30 in the morning.
We're still awake.
We are still awake. We got off work. We got here around, I would say, 5 o'clock,
5:30 maybe.
roughly. Um, and we began some animation.
Again.
Right. We have been. We decided we were going to animate. Continue animating a scene that. How long have we been working on it?
About 2 weeks.
Yes, we've been working on one scene for about 2 weeks now.
And we don't mean that we've been putting a little bit of time into this. These are usually like at least 6 hour times at a time each time we do this.
Right. The scene is about 1:45, and we just got it done after 2 weeks of working on it.
Well, we did a couple things we've never done before.
Yeah, it was. There were some very very tricky spots. Me personally, I didn't know if we were gonna figure out ways around them, but we did. And how do you think it turned out?
I'm actually pleased. It's probably I think it's probably the most proud I've been in animation, and it's just for 1:45 out of a over 20-minute long piece.
Right.
Which doesn't mean that there's not going to be a part later that I'm going to feel that way about.
Right. I mean, if things keep going well.
I mean, the other reason this took a long time, honestly, is because even when we got to a certain part in it, we decided that we needed to add to it.
And this is after we had already recorded all the original audio for it.
And already drew most of the pictures.
Right.
So we stopped at that point. We could have finished this probably about a week ago, but we stopped and drew I don't know how many more pictures, brought in another voice actor that hadn't done anything for us on this one, came in, recorded a couple more lines for us, and then reanimated all this and had to figure out how to animate a lot of this because we had no idea when we started.
It had to be there.
It had to be there. I will agree with that. It had to be there.
It's funny. Oh, I liked it.
You know what? This is the best tea I've ever had, and I don't like tea.
Dude, I hate tea, but it's good. It's really good.
Awesome.
Thanks, Steve, for me.
I will. I usually don't like tea.
No.
I think it's Irish tea. I think that's the thing.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Alright.
What's your dipstick, Jimmy?
Why'd you hit me? Because you're thinking with your dipstick. Jimmy. That was funny.
You want to add that in somewhere? We could.
We might.
We'll think about it.
But
I don't know. How long did it? No, I don't know. It's a possibility.
It is in the thinking stage. So, James, out of all the video work, all the animation that we have done completely, how far along on Goku vs. Vegeta 3 would you say we are?
In overall length, I would say we're probably about halfway done. But the thing is, out of that half that's left to do still, probably half of it's going to be our normal type of animation.
Right.
Which we can get done relatively quickly.
I agree.
The other half, again, involves, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say special effects, but you know what I mean. A whole lot of things that we haven't tried, some things that we've tried before but done in very small quantity because of how difficult it is.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of technical things that we're going to have to do on this, and that's going to extend the length of the time we're going to have to work on it.
Right, and not to try to get you guys' hopes up by saying we're about halfway done, but like you said, we got, still all that stuff that we haven't done before, but also we got to go back after everything is done animation-wise. We got to add music tracks and we got to add sound effects.
Now, I want to point out one thing. Goku versus Vegeta didn't really have any Goku versus Vegeta.
Right.
it had Goku yelling at Vegeta and vice versa, and then a Kamehameha out the ass. That's what it had.
It was more along
The
the
second one had a bunch of people yelling
and talking,
and then one person flying for a brief second,
and
and a little wow 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 wow,
and
and for
getting chopped up.
true, which was horrible, horrible. And also for anybody who didn't get that part at the end of 2, when Vegeta says bye bye shithole and it does the little wow 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 and then it said and went out. He seen the chicks on the beach. He got excited. It was supposed to mean an erection. It went out longer and it went boy.
Right. Thank Beavis and Butthead with the boy.
So if anybody didn't understand that, that's it.
Right. I hadn't even thought of that. But yeah, wasn't it Mr. Chris who didn't get that? It was somebody.
There's been a bunch of people I've showed that to that didn't get it. And I never understood that. I mean, it grew out, it got rigid, and it went boy, and then it showed chicks on the beach.
Right.
So, and he said it was time for some big banging.
Right. He didn't say. Yeah. It was innuendo, people.
Yes.
Was.
Think like Animaniacs. That's right.
So, how long have we been working on Goku vs. Vegeta 3 in total, do you think?
Are you gonna count actual work, including audio, or are you gonna talk about pre-planning? If you talk about pre-planning, we've been working on it probably in about a year.
I wanna start from writing to what we have now.
Oh, writing started like what 3 months ago, maybe.
Roughly.
But again, writing involved us going like, okay, it needs to start roughly about here. Then we'll switch back and forth in between this and this and this, and this will happen, then this will happen, then this will happen, then this will happen, and somehow we'll end up here. That's all we do. Okay, like the little bit that that we've already put up there as a sneak peek.
Right.
Pretty much that was in our first thing we went, okay, first we need to have an opening. Then we'll switch to Gohan being dead in the other world. That's all it was. That's all we had put down. We didn't say anything about, hey, Gohan's here, and then he goes to King Yama, and then he talks to King Yama, and King Yama sends him to King Kai's house. That was just us sitting down and, again, improvising.
Right. Which worked well, I think. All that stuff goes together well.
That's all we do. We come up with basic ideas, and then improvise and try to string them together into one consistent story.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, we try it again.
That's right.
And we keep doing it until we are pleased with it.
And so far, I think that's worked well for us in the way we do things.
Yeah, but see, this is one thing that I want to point out. He may not agree with me completely, but I hold a very special place in my heart for this whole series. Because, like he said, I dreamed this.
He did.
I dreamed the first one. It was a dream. It looked exactly like the show. Okay? And then we just took it and made it a little bit more funny.
Right.
But it's still, they were cussing and then Gohan got his head shot off.
Which was great.
So anyway, the point is that the reason we did this was to please ourselves. The reason we're keeping making them is because people want to see them. But, you know what? If we don't think it's funny, we're not going to put it in there.
I'm going to go ahead and say something that I shouldn't probably say, but I mean, it's not going to happen, so I'm going to go ahead and tell them what I tried to do.
Okay.
I went ahead and I found
we got about, a minute left?
Rough, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, about 10:59 is where it's going to cut
off.
Okay. If any of you know who Sean Schimmel is, he's the voice of Goku on Dragon Ball Z, the English version. Yeah. I found him on MySpace. I did. And I sent him a message saying, hey, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Me and my friend made this. I sent him Goku vs. Vegeta. I said, our goal is to have you and Chris Sabat, which is Vegeta, to overdub this and all that. So, he read both messages that I sent to him. He added me as a friend, all that stuff.
That's probably not going to happen, so don't get your hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up, but it is slightly possible, but highly improbable, that Goku versus Vegeta will be redubbed by the real Goku.
We have like a 99.2% chance that it will not.
Right,
but that leaves 0.8. 0.08.
Right.